Welcome to Bookwaves Audio. You are about to listen to How to Control Your Feelings for Success. This audiobook is designed to help you understand your emotions, manage your thoughts, and take control of your feelings so you can achieve your goals. Through 15 chapters, you will learn practical techniques for focus, discipline, emotional resilience, habits, time management, and communication. Each chapter builds on the previous one, giving you a complete system to strengthen your mind and guide your actions. Listen carefully, follow the strategies, and take the lessons to heart. The more you practice, the more you will gain control over your emotions and the more confident you will feel in making decisions and facing challenges. Make sure to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio to receive more self-development content that will help you grow and achieve success. Now let's begin your journey to mastering your feelings and unlocking your full potential. Most people think that emotions are something that just happen to them. They believe they cannot control how they feel, but the truth is, understanding your feelings is the first step to controlling them. If you are ready to take control of your emotions and turn them into your greatest tool, you are in the right place. Make sure to subscribe to Bookwaves Audio so you don't miss any chapter of this journey. This audiobook will guide you step by step, helping you understand your emotions and showing you how to master them for success. Now let's begin by exploring the very essence of feelings and emotions and why they matter more than you might think. Chapter 1. Understanding your feelings. Every person experiences a wide range of feelings every day. Some feelings are pleasant. They make you smile, laugh, and feel content. Other feelings are unpleasant. They make you anxious, angry, or sad. It is normal to have these feelings. They are part of being human. But what separates successful people from others is how they handle these emotions. They do not let feelings control them. Instead, they learn to understand and guide them. Feelings are signals. They tell you what is happening inside your mind and body. For example, when you feel nervous before an important task, your body is signaling that it cares about the outcome. When you feel anger, your mind is showing that a boundary has been crossed or a value has been threatened. Every feeling carries information. Learning to read these signals is essential. The first step in understanding your feelings is to observe them without judgment. Many people immediately react to emotions without thinking. When something goes wrong, they feel frustrated and lash out. When they feel fear, they freeze or avoid action. This reaction is natural, but it keeps you trapped. Observation means noticing what you feel, why you feel it, and how it affects your behavior. Start with small exercises. Throughout your day, pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Describe the feeling in words. Say it silently in your mind. For example, I feel anxious, or I feel excited. This simple step of naming your emotion gives you a sense of control. It shifts your brain from automatic reaction to conscious awareness. Over time, this practice strengthens your emotional awareness. The next step is understanding the triggers of your emotions. Triggers are situations, people, or thoughts that activate a particular feeling. Maybe a comment from a colleague makes you angry. Maybe a text message from a friend makes you sad. Perhaps public speaking causes fear. Identifying these triggers allows you to predict your emotional reactions. When you know what causes certain feelings, you can plan how to respond wisely. Many people do not realize that feelings are influenced by their thoughts. Thoughts create feelings, and feelings drive actions. If you think, I am going to fail, your body reacts with anxiety and tension. If you think, I can do this, your body reacts with confidence and energy. This connection between thoughts and feelings is powerful. Controlling your thoughts can help you control your emotions. This does not mean ignoring negative feelings. It means changing the way you interpret events. Another important aspect is the role of physical sensations in your feelings. Emotions often appear first in your body. You might feel a tight chest when stressed, a racing heart when excited, or a sinking feeling in your stomach when worried. Paying attention to these sensations can help you detect emotions early, before they become overwhelming. Simple breathing exercises, stretching, or even a short walk can help regulate these physical reactions. Successful people develop what is called emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions and the emotions of others. It is not just about controlling feelings. It is about using them to make better decisions, improve relationships, and achieve goals. Emotional intelligence is learned through practice. The more you observe, analyze, and respond consciously to your feelings, the stronger it becomes. You also need to understand that emotions are not permanent. Feelings come and go like waves in the ocean. Sometimes the waves are calm and gentle, other times they are strong and stormy. The key is not to fight them, but to ride them skillfully. For instance, when anger arises, pause and breathe. When sadness comes, acknowledge it, and allow yourself a short time to process it. By recognizing that emotions are temporary, you prevent them from controlling your life. A practical method to understand feelings is journaling. Write down your experiences, the emotions you felt, what triggered them, and how you reacted. Over time, patterns will appear. You will notice what situations consistently trigger stress, anger, or excitement. This awareness is the foundation for control. Another tip is mindfulness meditation. Spending just a few minutes each day focusing on your breath and observing your thoughts can improve your emotional clarity. Mindfulness teaches you to notice emotions without being overwhelmed by them. It trains your mind to respond, rather than react. It is also important to differentiate between emotions and behaviors. Emotions are feelings, but behaviors are actions. Feeling angry does not mean you must shout or fight. Feeling nervous does not mean you cannot perform. By creating a gap between emotion and behavior, you gain power over your actions. This gap is the space where self-control and success are born. As you start observing and understanding your feelings, you will begin to notice patterns. Certain people, situations, or thoughts consistently produce specific emotions. Awareness of these patterns gives you choice. You can decide how to act, rather than being driven automatically. Over time, this practice builds confidence and calmness in any situation. Remember that understanding feelings is not just about negative emotions. Positive emotions like joy, excitement, and gratitude are equally important. Recognizing and embracing these feelings can motivate you to pursue your goals, strengthen relationships, and enhance your well-being. The more you notice positive emotions, the more you can cultivate them deliberately. Finally, keep in mind that understanding feelings is a lifelong skill. It is not something you master in a day. Each day provides opportunities to observe, learn, and improve. Every experience, whether pleasant or challenging, is a chance to strengthen your emotional awareness. In this chapter, you have learned that feelings are powerful signals. They carry important information about your thoughts, your body, and your environment. You discovered that observing emotions, identifying triggers, and understanding patterns are essential steps toward emotional control. You also learned that emotions are temporary, that mindfulness and journaling can help, and that creating a gap between feelings and behavior gives you true control. Take time today to notice your feelings, name them, and observe them without judgment. This small step is the beginning of mastering your emotions for success. Stay tuned for the next chapter, where we will explore why emotional control matters and how it directly impacts your success. Remember, this is Bookwaves Audio, guiding you on your journey toward a better, more controlled and successful life. Chapter 2. Why emotional control matters. Every person experiences strong emotions every day. Some feelings lift us up, while others pull us down. How you manage these emotions can determine the quality of your life. Emotional control is not about ignoring feelings or pretending they do not exist. It is about understanding them and using them to make better decisions, take effective action, and build a successful life. Uncontrolled emotions often lead to mistakes. When anger or frustration takes over, you might say things you regret. When fear dominates, you might avoid opportunities that could help you grow. Stress can cloud your thinking, making problems seem bigger than they really are. On the other hand, people who understand and manage their feelings respond thoughtfully. They pause, evaluate the situation, and choose the action that benefits them most. Emotional control begins with awareness. To control feelings, you must first recognize them. When you notice emotions rising inside, it creates a space between the feeling and your reaction. This space is where choice exists. You can react impulsively or respond wisely. Developing this ability is a skill that successful people cultivate daily. One reason emotional control is crucial is that it affects decision-making. Every choice you make is influenced by emotions, whether you realize it or not. Anxiety, anger, excitement, or sadness all impact the way your brain evaluates options. Without control, decisions are based on temporary feelings instead of long-term goals. With control, you can make decisions calmly and strategically, even in stressful situations. Another area influenced by emotional control is stress management. Life is full of challenges, deadlines, unexpected changes, conflicts, and personal responsibilities all trigger emotional reactions. If you allow stress to control you, it can drain your energy, reduce focus, and harm your health. Emotional control enables you to handle stress in a balanced way. Simple practices like controlled breathing, pausing before reacting, and mindful observation help keep stress from becoming overwhelming. Resilience, the ability to recover from setbacks, also depends on emotional control. When a failure or disappointment occurs, emotions can either help you learn and move forward, or trap you in frustration and doubt. Those who control their feelings use challenges as opportunities to grow. They analyze mistakes calmly, take lessons from them, and continue toward their goals. This ability makes them stronger and more capable over time. Relationships are deeply affected by emotions. Uncontrolled anger, jealousy, or impatience can damage friendships, family bonds, and professional connections. Emotional control helps you communicate clearly, remain calm in conflicts, and show empathy. People are naturally drawn to those who manage their emotions well. They inspire trust, collaboration, and respect. This influence can open doors in both personal and professional life. Emotional control also supports self-confidence. When you can manage your feelings, you feel more capable of handling challenges. You trust your ability to respond thoughtfully, rather than react impulsively. This confidence motivates you to take action, try new things, and overcome obstacles. Without control over emotions, even minor setbacks can feel overwhelming and paralyzing. Emotions influence motivation and persistence as well. Success rarely happens without obstacles, delays, or failures. When frustration, impatience, or doubt arises, uncontrolled feelings can cause you to give up. Managing these emotions allows you to stay focused, keep moving forward, and maintain consistent effort toward your goals. Emotional control ensures that setbacks become learning experiences rather than permanent obstacles. Consider examples from everyday life. A student facing a difficult exam may feel anxious. If the anxiety overwhelms them, they might avoid studying or panic during the test. If they manage the feeling, they can channel it into preparation, focus on what they can control, and perform effectively. A professional receiving criticism may feel defensive or angry. With emotional control, they can listen carefully, learn from feedback, and improve without reacting negatively. Physical reactions are closely tied to emotions. Stress can cause tension in the body, racing heartbeat or shallow breathing. Awareness of these sensations allows you to intervene before emotions take full control. Techniques like deep breathing, stretching and short breaks can calm the body and mind. Emotional control is strengthened when the body and mind work together. Positive emotions are just as important as negative ones. Joy, excitement, and gratitude can inspire action, strengthen relationships, and improve overall well-being. By noticing and intentionally cultivating positive emotions, you increase motivation and satisfaction. Emotional control is not about suppressing feelings. It is about harnessing them to support your success. Mastering emotional control is a skill anyone can develop. It requires practice, patience, and observation. Daily experiences, both small and large, provide opportunities to notice emotions, respond thoughtfully, and strengthen this skill. Over time, emotional control becomes a natural part of your behavior, shaping your life in positive ways. Those who succeed often do so not because of superior talent alone, but because they manage their emotions effectively. They remain composed under pressure, think clearly in difficult situations, and maintain focus when others lose theirs. By learning to control your feelings, you are following the same path to personal and professional success. Techniques like mindfulness, self-talk, and pausing before responding create the gap between feeling and action. Within this space, you have the power to decide. You can choose patience over anger, courage over fear, and persistence over frustration. This skill is what separates people who drift through life from those who achieve meaningful success. Developing emotional control also affects your long-term mindset. You start seeing challenges as opportunities, failures as lessons, and obstacles as temporary. This perspective reduces fear, increases confidence, and strengthens resilience. You begin to live intentionally rather than reactively. Each choice becomes more deliberate and aligned with your goals. As you apply emotional control in daily life, you will notice changes in behavior, attitude, and results. People will respond differently to you. Opportunities will open as others recognize your composure, clarity, and focus. You will handle conflicts with skill, solve problems with creativity, and maintain steady progress toward your goals. Emotional control is not about perfection. Everyone experiences strong emotions. The key is to respond wisely, instead of reacting impulsively. Each day offers moments to practice this skill, from small interactions to significant challenges. Gradually, managing your feelings becomes automatic, and your life becomes more directed, purposeful, and successful. Understanding why emotional control matters is the foundation for the next step. Recognizing what triggers your strongest feelings. By identifying these triggers, you gain insight into your reactions and can begin to guide them intentionally. This awareness is the next level in mastering your emotions and building the life you want. Chapter 3. Identifying your triggers. Emotions do not appear out of nowhere. Every feeling has a cause, even if it is not immediately obvious. To control your feelings, you must first understand what sparks them. These sparks are called triggers. Identifying your emotional triggers is a crucial step toward mastering your feelings and using them for success. When you know what triggers anger, fear, or anxiety, you can prepare, respond thoughtfully, and even prevent unnecessary stress. Triggers can take many forms. They might be people, situations, thoughts, memories, or even certain words. For example, someone might feel irritated when a colleague interrupts them. Another person might feel anxious when thinking about a public presentation. Some triggers are external, like loud noises or unexpected changes. Others are internal, like negative self-talk or worries about the future. The more you learn to recognize these triggers, the more control you have over your reactions. The first step in identifying triggers is observation. Pay attention to moments when strong emotions arise. Notice how your body reacts. Do you feel tension in your shoulders, a racing heartbeat, or butterflies in your stomach? What thoughts accompany these feelings? Writing these observations down can be extremely helpful. Journaling creates a record of patterns and makes triggers easier to spot over time. Some triggers are obvious, while others are subtle. You might feel frustrated without immediately knowing why. In such cases, take a moment to ask yourself questions. What just happened? What did I think about? Who or what might have influenced my reaction? These questions help uncover hidden triggers that can otherwise control your behavior unconsciously. It is also important to recognize that triggers are often linked to past experiences. Childhood events, past failures, or unresolved conflicts can create strong emotional reactions in the present. For example, a person who was often criticized as a child may react strongly to feedback in adulthood. Understanding this connection between past experiences and current reactions allows you to respond with awareness instead of instinctive emotion. Emotional triggers do not always produce the same response in everyone. What frustrates one person may leave another unfazed. This means your triggers are unique to you. Learning to identify your own triggers requires honest self-reflection. Avoid blaming others or external circumstances. Instead, focus on your reactions and what causes them. Taking responsibility for your emotions gives you power over them. Some common triggers include fear of failure, criticism, rejection, and loss of control. These triggers often lead to strong negative emotions like anger, anxiety, or sadness. On the positive side, excitement, curiosity, and challenge can also be triggers that produce energy and motivation. Understanding both negative and positive triggers allows you to harness emotions effectively. You can reduce harmful reactions and amplify empowering ones. A practical method to identify triggers is to keep a daily log of emotional reactions. Throughout your day, note any strong feelings, what caused them, and how you reacted. Over time, patterns will emerge. You may notice that certain people, times of day, or types of situations consistently produce specific emotions. Recognizing these patterns is the foundation for emotional control. Triggers are often linked to thoughts and beliefs. When you think "I must do this perfectly," stress or anxiety can arise when things do not go as planned. When you think "this is unfair," anger may appear. Your thoughts shape how triggers affect you. By changing the way you interpret events, you can reduce the intensity of emotional reactions. This is not about denying reality, but about choosing how you perceive it. Understanding triggers also helps in relationships. Many conflicts occur because people react to triggers without realizing it. A simple comment or action from someone can set off strong emotions. By identifying your triggers, you can pause before reacting and respond in a calm and thoughtful way. This approach improves communication and reduces unnecessary tension. Sometimes triggers are connected to physical states. Lack of sleep, hunger, or fatigue can make small irritations feel overwhelming. Being aware of these conditions allows you to manage your emotions better. Taking care of your body strengthens emotional control and makes it easier to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Another key point is that triggers can be gradual or sudden. Some emotions build slowly over time, like stress from a heavy workload, while others appear instantly, like sudden fear or anger. Both types require attention. Gradual triggers can be noticed through reflection and journaling. Sudden triggers require the practice of pausing, breathing, and observing before acting. Both skills are essential for emotional mastery. Once you identify your triggers, the next step is to prepare strategies for managing them. For example, if criticism triggers anxiety, You can remind yourself that feedback is a tool for growth. If certain situations trigger anger, you can practice calming techniques before responding. Preparation reduces the chance of being overwhelmed by emotion. Triggers also reveal areas for personal growth. Frequent reactions to specific situations indicate unresolved issues or weaknesses. By examining these triggers, you gain insight into your own patterns, fears, and values. This awareness is a guide for personal development. It helps you grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Remember that identifying triggers is an ongoing process. New situations, experiences, and challenges can create new triggers. The practice of observing emotions, noting triggers, and reflecting on reactions should become a daily habit. Over time, your awareness expands, and you respond with more calmness and clarity in every situation. Identifying your triggers also increases your predictability in response. When you know what tends to provoke strong feelings, you can anticipate your reactions and take steps to manage them. This predictability makes life less stressful, interactions smoother, and decisions more intentional. Awareness of triggers also strengthens empathy. When you understand that your emotions are triggered by specific causes, you can appreciate that others have their own triggers. This perspective allows you to respond with patience and understanding instead of judgment. Emotional control thus improves both self-mastery and your relationships with others. Finally, identifying triggers bridges the gap between understanding emotions and controlling them. Awareness alone is not enough. When you know your triggers, you can plan how to respond, adjust your thinking, and take action that aligns with your goals. This skill forms the foundation for the next stages of emotional mastery, regulating your responses, building resilience, and using emotion strategically to achieve success. By observing your feelings, analyzing their causes, and noting patterns, you begin to see the bigger picture. You understand why certain situations feel difficult, why some people push your buttons, and why some thoughts cause anxiety or frustration. This knowledge gives you clarity, confidence, and control. Identifying triggers is the first step in transforming emotions from obstacles into allies. Once you recognize the sparks, you can guide your reactions, redirect energy, and use emotions to fuel your growth. Each trigger you learn about becomes an opportunity to improve, adapt, and respond in ways that bring you closer to your goals. As you continue practicing this skill, you will notice a natural shift. Situations that once caused strong reactions will now feel manageable. You will pause, reflect, and respond intentionally. This ability strengthens your resilience, enhances your relationships, and increases your capacity to achieve success in every area of life. Chapter 4. Understanding stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety are natural parts of life. Everyone experiences them at some point. They are signals from your body and mind, showing that something needs attention. Stress usually comes from challenges, responsibilities, or sudden changes. Anxiety is often a response to worry about the future or fear of the unknown. Understanding these emotions is essential to controlling your feelings and using them for success. Stress itself is not always bad. It can motivate you to take action, focus on a task, or meet a deadline. For example, a student may feel stressed before an exam. This stress can push them to study harder and prepare more carefully. However, when stress becomes too strong or constant, it can harm your thinking, reduce your energy, and affect your health. Anxiety works in a similar way. A small amount of anxiety can sharpen focus and alertness, but too much anxiety can make you feel overwhelmed and unable to act. Learning to manage both stress and anxiety is key to emotional control. The body and mind react strongly to stress and anxiety. When you feel stressed, Your brain releases chemicals that prepare you for fight or flight. Your heart may beat faster, your muscles may tighten, and your breathing may become shallow. Anxiety produces similar reactions. These physical signals can make emotions feel more intense than they really are. By noticing these reactions, you gain awareness, and awareness is the first step toward control. Understanding the source of stress is the next step. Some stress comes from external situations, like work, school, relationships, or financial problems. Other stress comes from internal thoughts, like self-doubt, negative thinking, or perfectionism. Identifying whether stress is external or internal helps you decide how to respond. External stress may require problem-solving or asking for help. Internal stress may require adjusting your thinking or calming your mind. Anxiety often comes from anticipation. Your mind imagines negative outcomes, sometimes exaggerating or predicting things that are unlikely to happen. This anticipation causes tension, worry, and avoidance behaviors. Recognizing that anxiety often comes from thoughts about the future, rather than the present reality, creates space to respond calmly. Asking yourself, "Is this thought true or helpful?" can reduce unnecessary anxiety and help you stay focused on what matters. Chronic stress and anxiety can affect performance and health. Over time, they can reduce focus, weaken memory, lower immunity, and cause fatigue. They can also create irritability and tension in relationships. By learning to manage stress and anxiety, you protect your body and mind, while improving your emotional control. Techniques for managing stress include deep breathing, mindfulness, and progressive muscle relaxation. Deep breathing helps slow your heartbeat and reduce tension. Mindfulness teaches you to notice your thoughts without reacting impulsively. Progressive relaxation involves tensing and releasing muscles to remove stress from the body. Practicing these techniques regularly strengthens your ability to remain calm in stressful situations. It is also important to identify your stress and anxiety triggers. Certain situations, people, or thoughts can repeatedly produce strong emotions. For example, a heavy workload, a demanding boss, or fear of failure can trigger stress. Once you know your triggers, you can prepare strategies to respond calmly. Preparation reduces the chance of being overwhelmed and helps you respond thoughtfully. Cognitive strategies are very effective in managing anxiety. One method is reframing your thoughts. Instead of thinking, "I cannot handle this," try thinking, "This is a challenge, and I can take it one step at a time." Reframing your thoughts reduces anxiety and increases confidence. Another method is focusing on what you can control. Worrying about things beyond your control increases stress. Concentrating on what you can act upon gives you direction and reduces emotional overwhelm. Physical activity also helps manage stress. Exercise releases chemicals in the brain that improve mood and reduce tension. Even short walks, stretching, or light exercise can improve emotional control. Other lifestyle factors, such as enough sleep, healthy nutrition, and staying hydrated, also play a major role in managing stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety often reinforce each other. Uncontrolled stress increases anxious thoughts, and anxiety can make stress feel worse. Recognizing this cycle allows you to intervene. Simple, consistent practices, such as pausing, breathing deeply, and focusing on what is within your control, gradually reduce both stress and anxiety. Perspective plays a big role in how we experience stress. Two people can face the same challenge and feel very different emotions. One may see it as a threat, another as an opportunity. Changing perspective allows you to reduce unnecessary stress and approach challenges with calmness and clarity. Mindfulness meditation is especially effective. Spending a few minutes each day observing your thoughts, feelings, and body sensations trains your mind to stay present. This reduces rumination about the past and worry about the future. With regular mindfulness practice, your ability to stay calm under pressure improves significantly. Social support is another important factor in managing stress. Talking to friends, family, or mentors about stressful situations can provide perspective and reduce emotional burden. Sharing feelings is not a sign of weakness. It is a way to gain clarity and emotional balance. Stress and anxiety also highlight areas where you care deeply or where growth is possible. By observing these emotions, you can learn about your priorities, values, and limits. Responding wisely turns stress and anxiety from obstacles into tools for personal growth. Managing stress and anxiety strengthens emotional resilience. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to practice calm focus and thoughtful action. Over time, you develop the ability to respond intentionally rather than react impulsively. This skill improves relationships, performance, and overall life satisfaction. Once you understand how stress and anxiety work, you can move to the next stage, building mindfulness and awareness. Mindfulness allows you to notice thoughts and feelings without being controlled by them. This skill is essential for emotional mastery and long-term success. Chapter 5: Mindfulness and Awareness. Mindfulness and awareness are powerful tools for controlling your emotions. They allow you to observe your thoughts and feelings without being overwhelmed by them. By practicing mindfulness, you create space between what happens around you and how you respond. This space is where emotional control begins. Mindfulness is not about ignoring emotions or pretending everything is fine. It is about noticing what you feel, understanding it, and choosing how to act. Awareness is simply paying attention to your mind, body, and surroundings. Together, mindfulness and awareness give you the power to respond intentionally instead of reacting impulsively. Stress, anger, anxiety, and other strong emotions often take control because we are unaware of them. We react automatically to triggers without thinking. Mindfulness teaches you to pause and notice what is happening inside you. For example, when you feel anger rising, mindfulness helps you recognize the sensation in your body and the thoughts accompanying it. Instead of yelling or lashing out, you can take a breath and decide how to respond wisely. Awareness begins with observing your thoughts. Many emotions are triggered by the stories we tell ourselves. Thoughts like, "This is unfair," or "I cannot do this," create feelings of frustration or fear. By noticing these thoughts without judgment, you gain control over how much power they have. You do not need to believe every thought or react immediately. Simply observing allows you to step back and choose a response that aligns with your goals. Mindfulness also involves observing your body. Emotions often show up physically before they reach your mind. Your heart may race, your shoulders may tense, or your stomach may feel tight. By paying attention to these physical signals, you can recognize rising emotions early and respond before they take over. Simple techniques like deep breathing, stretching, or shaking out tension can help calm your body and mind. Regular practice of mindfulness can be done in small steps. Start with just a few minutes each day. Sit quietly, close your eyes and notice your breathing. Focus on each inhale and exhale. Notice any thoughts or feelings that arise, but do not try to change them. Simply observe them. Over time, your mind becomes trained to notice emotions and thoughts without reacting automatically. Another way to practice mindfulness is through everyday activities. Eating, walking, or even washing dishes can become mindfulness exercises. Pay attention to the sensations, smells, sounds, and movements involved. Notice when your mind wanders and gently bring it back to the present moment. These small practices strengthen awareness and help you stay grounded in daily life. Mindfulness also improves focus and decision-making. When you are aware of your thoughts and feelings, you are less likely to act impulsively. You can evaluate situations clearly, consider consequences, and make choices that support your goals. Emotional control becomes easier because you are not constantly reacting to automatic impulses or unexamined feelings. Self-awareness is closely tied to mindfulness. It involves understanding your own strengths, weaknesses, triggers, and patterns of behavior. By being self-aware, you recognize how different situations affect you emotionally. You also become aware of your habits, both positive and negative, and can make intentional changes. Self-awareness helps you take responsibility for your emotions instead of blaming others or circumstances. Mindfulness and awareness are also essential for managing stress and anxiety. When stress or worry arises, noticing it early allows you to intervene. You can ask yourself what is causing the stress, whether it is within your control, and what actions you can take. This approach prevents stress and anxiety from growing uncontrollably. You learn to face challenges with clarity and calmness. Practicing mindfulness can enhance empathy and relationships. When you are aware of your own emotions, you are better able to understand the feelings of others. You notice subtle cues in their behavior, expressions, and tone of voice. This awareness allows you to respond with patience, compassion, and understanding. Strong relationships are built on the ability to notice and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Mindfulness also improves resilience. Life is full of setbacks, disappointments, and challenges. Without awareness, these events can feel overwhelming and lead to emotional collapse. With mindfulness, you observe emotions as they arise and let them pass without being consumed.
You learn that emotions are temporary and manageable.
This understanding strengthens your ability to recover from difficulties and continue toward your goals. Another benefit of mindfulness is clarity in goal setting. When you are aware of your thoughts and feelings, you can distinguish between what you truly want and what is influenced by fear, social pressure, or habit. Awareness allows you to set goals that align with your values and priorities. You can monitor your progress, adjust your strategies, and stay motivated even when challenges arise. Mindfulness is also a powerful tool for breaking negative thought patterns. Many people react automatically to situations with habits of worry, doubt, or self-criticism. By noticing these thoughts as they arise, you create a gap between thought and reaction. In this gap, you can choose to respond differently. Over time, this practice weakens negative patterns and strengthens positive thinking. In addition, mindfulness improves emotional regulation. You begin to notice not only when emotions arise, but also how long they last and how intense they are. This understanding helps you manage emotions more effectively. You can calm yourself when anger flares, soothe anxiety before it escalates, and maintain focus even when excitement or frustration appears. Mindfulness and awareness are skills, not innate traits. Anyone can develop them with regular practice. Even a few minutes a day practiced consistently creates lasting change. The key is repetition and observation. Notice your thoughts and feelings daily. Apply calming techniques and reflect on your reactions. Gradually, emotional control becomes natural and automatic. These skills also prepare you for advanced emotional mastery. Once you can observe emotions and maintain awareness, you can begin to strategically use emotions to fuel motivation, build confidence, and enhance decision-making. Mindfulness creates the foundation for using your emotions as allies rather than obstacles. Through mindfulness and awareness, you gain insight into yourself and your world. You learn to notice what matters, what triggers strong emotions, and what supports your growth. This insight guides every action, every decision, and every relationship. Emotional control becomes easier because you are aware of the forces that influence your mind and body. By practicing mindfulness regularly, you develop a calm presence. You respond to challenges with clarity, patience, and focus. You maintain steady progress toward your goals, Even when stress, anxiety, or other strong emotions arise, mindfulness allows you to act with purpose, rather than react out of habit or impulse. Ultimately, mindfulness and awareness are essential skills for anyone seeking success and emotional mastery. They create the foundation for understanding triggers, managing stress, building resilience, and making intentional choices. As you continue practicing, you will notice a deeper sense of control, clarity, and confidence in every aspect of life. The next stage in this journey is positive thinking and self-talk, which builds on mindfulness. By becoming aware of your inner dialogue, you can replace negative thoughts with empowering ones, further strengthening emotional control and moving closer to success. Chapter 6. Positive Thinking and Self-Talk. Positive thinking and self-talk are powerful tools that shape the way you experience life. The thoughts you carry in your mind influence your emotions, decisions, and actions. When you think positively, you approach challenges with hope and confidence. When you think negatively, you feel fear, doubt, and hesitation. Learning to notice and guide your thoughts is essential for controlling your feelings and achieving success. Self-talk is the inner voice that speaks constantly in your mind. Sometimes it encourages you, and other times it criticizes or doubts you. Most people are not even aware of how critical their self-talk can be. Negative self-talk might say, "I will never succeed," or "I cannot do this." Positive self-talk, on the other hand, might say, "I can handle this challenge," or "I will learn from this experience." The way you speak to yourself directly affects your emotions and your ability to take action. Positive thinking is not about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It is about focusing on solutions, possibilities, and growth. It allows you to face difficulties with resilience rather than fear. For example, if you make a mistake at work, a negative mindset might make you feel hopeless or embarrassed. Positive thinking encourages you to see the mistake as a lesson, an opportunity to improve, and a step toward growth. The first step in developing positive thinking is awareness of your thoughts. Notice the messages you tell yourself throughout the day. Are they supportive or discouraging? Do they focus on what you can control or on what you cannot? Awareness allows you to choose which thoughts to nurture and which ones to challenge. Challenging negative thoughts is a critical practice. When a negative thought arises, ask yourself whether it is true, whether it is helpful, and whether it is the best way to view the situation. For example, instead of thinking, "I always fail," you might reframe it as, "I did not succeed this time, but I can learn and do better next time." Reframing thoughts reduces the power of negativity and strengthens emotional control. Affirmations are another effective tool for positive self-talk. Simple statements like "I am capable," "I can handle challenges," or "I am growing every day" can reinforce confidence and optimism. Repeating affirmations daily helps train your mind to focus on possibilities instead of obstacles. Over time, positive statements become natural and influence your feelings and actions. Visualization also strengthens positive thinking. Imagine yourself succeeding, overcoming challenges, and achieving your goals. Picture the steps you will take and the results you desire. Visualization trains your mind to expect success and motivates you to act consistently. It also reduces anxiety by familiarizing your mind with positive outcomes instead of worst-case scenarios. Gratitude is closely linked to positive thinking. Focusing on what you appreciate in life shifts attention away from worries, complaints, and negative thoughts. Each day, notice even small things that bring value, joy, or comfort. Gratitude strengthens your emotional well-being, increases happiness, and reinforces a mindset of possibility rather than limitation. Positive thinking and self-talk influence motivation. When you encourage yourself internally, you are more likely to take action, persevere through difficulties, and continue learning. Negative self-talk, however, can make even small challenges feel overwhelming. and cause procrastination. By guiding your inner voice toward encouragement, you fuel consistent effort toward your goals. Self-talk also affects resilience. Life is full of setbacks, mistakes, and disappointments. Negative thinking can keep you stuck, frustrated, or fearful. Positive self-talk, on the other hand, reminds you that setbacks are temporary, mistakes are opportunities, and challenges are part of growth. With this mindset, you bounce back faster and remain focused on your objectives. Awareness of self-talk is strengthened by mindfulness. By observing your thoughts without judgment, you can notice negative patterns before they control your emotions. For example, when you feel anxious about a presentation, awareness helps you catch the thought, "I will embarrass myself," and replace it with, "I have prepared, and I will do my best." This small shift changes your emotional response and increases confidence. Language matters in self-talk. Words have power. Saying, "I cannot," often reinforces doubt. Saying, "I can learn," encourages growth. Even small changes in phrasing affect the emotions attached to thoughts. Positive language produces positive feelings and actions. Negative language produces fear, hesitation, and avoidance. Consistency is key in developing positive thinking. Occasional encouragement is helpful, but regular practice makes it automatic. Daily reflection, affirmations, visualization, and mindful observation of thoughts help build this skill. Over time, positive thinking becomes your default approach, influencing emotions, decisions, and behaviors naturally. Another aspect of positive thinking is focusing on solutions rather than problems. When challenges arise, ask yourself, "What can I do to improve this situation?" instead of dwelling on what went wrong. Solution-focused thinking promotes confidence, reduces anxiety, and strengthens emotional control. It shifts your mind from helplessness to action. Positive thinking and self-talk also impact relationships. When you view yourself positively, you interact with others from a place of confidence and calm. You are less likely to overreact, blame, or feel threatened. Your optimism influences others, creating an environment of support, encouragement, and cooperation. Moreover, positive thinking enhances long-term success. People who consistently think positively are more likely to take risks, seize opportunities, and persist through setbacks. Negative thinkers may avoid challenges, fear failure, or give up too soon. By maintaining a positive mindset, you create momentum toward personal and professional goals. It is important to remember that positive thinking is a skill, not a fixed trait. Everyone experiences negative thoughts. The difference lies in noticing them, challenging them, and intentionally replacing them with supportive, empowering thoughts. With regular practice, positive thinking becomes second nature. Self-talk also shapes your internal narrative about abilities and identity. Telling yourself, "I am capable, I am learning," or "I can handle this," builds confidence and emotional stability. This narrative becomes a guide for behavior, helping you take consistent steps toward growth and success. In addition, positive thinking strengthens focus. When your mind is directed toward possibilities and solutions, you are more likely to notice opportunities, act decisively, and remain motivated. Negative thinking distracts, doubts, and stalls progress. Shaping your thoughts positively enhances clarity, decision-making, and results. Finally, combining mindfulness with positive thinking multiplies the benefits. Mindfulness creates awareness of thoughts, and positive thinking directs those thoughts toward empowering and constructive paths. Together, they form a foundation for emotional mastery, resilience, and long-term success. As you practice positive thinking and self-talk, you will notice subtle changes. Stress becomes easier to manage, setbacks feel temporary, and confidence grows. Your actions align more closely with your goals, and your emotions support your progress rather than hinder it. Positive thinking is not a magic solution, but it is a reliable practical skill that shapes your experience, behavior, and achievements. The next step in building emotional mastery is handling anger effectively. Once you guide your thoughts and feelings positively, learning to manage anger ensures that strong emotions do not disrupt your decisions, relationships, or goals. Chapter 7. Handling anger effectively. Anger is a natural emotion. Everyone feels it from time to time. It is a response to perceived threats, injustice, frustration, or disappointment. While anger itself is not inherently bad, uncontrolled anger can damage relationships, hinder decision-making, and create stress. Learning to handle anger effectively is essential for emotional mastery and long-term success. The first step in handling anger is recognition. Many people do not notice their anger until it is too strong to control. Anger can build slowly or appear suddenly. Recognizing early signs is crucial. Physical signals such as a racing heart, clenched fists, tight jaw, or tense shoulders often accompany anger. Thoughts like "this is unfair" or "I cannot believe this is happening" also indicate rising anger. By noticing these signs early, you gain the opportunity to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Understanding the causes of anger is the next step. Anger is often triggered by unmet expectations, unfair treatment, fear, or past experiences. Sometimes it is caused by stress, fatigue, or frustration. By identifying triggers, you can prepare strategies to respond calmly. For example, if you know a certain colleague's comments often make you angry, you can anticipate the situation and plan how to remain composed. Anger is also connected to thought patterns. Negative interpretations, assumptions, or judgments can amplify anger. For instance, thinking, "they did this on purpose to hurt me," can intensify anger, even if the action was accidental or unintentional. By examining the accuracy of these thoughts, you can reduce the intensity of anger. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it helpful? How else can I interpret this situation? One of the most effective ways to handle anger is through breathing and calming techniques. Deep, slow breaths help reduce the body's fight or flight response. Counting slowly or focusing on each inhale and exhale allows your mind and body to relax. Even taking a short pause, stepping away from the situation, or closing your eyes for a moment can prevent immediate, uncontrolled reactions. Another key strategy is mindful observation of emotions. Instead of pushing anger away or letting it explode, notice it. Observe what you feel, where you feel it in your body, and what thoughts accompany it. Mindful observation allows you to respond with awareness instead of reacting automatically. This practice creates a gap between emotion and action, giving you the power to choose your response. Anger can also be managed through constructive expression. Suppressing anger entirely is unhealthy, but expressing it recklessly can be harmful. Communicate feelings calmly and clearly, focusing on the situation rather than attacking others. Use I statements, such as "I feel frustrated when" rather than "you made me angry." Constructive expression strengthens relationships and resolves conflicts without escalating emotions. Physical activity is another way to reduce anger. Exercise releases tension and produces chemicals in the brain that improve mood. Running, walking, stretching, or even punching a pillow can help dissipate anger safely. Movement allows energy associated with anger to leave the body instead of accumulating and causing outbursts. Self-reflection is also important. After feeling angry, take time to reflect on the situation. Ask yourself what triggered your anger, whether your reaction was appropriate, and how you can respond better in the future. Reflection transforms anger from a destructive force into a learning opportunity. It builds self-awareness and strengthens emotional control. Anger management also involves problem-solving. Often, Anger arises from situations that feel out of control. Identify actionable steps you can take to improve the situation. Taking responsibility for solutions rather than focusing solely on frustration empowers you and reduces emotional intensity. This approach shifts energy from negativity to constructive action. Positive thinking and self-talk play a role in handling anger as well. Replace thoughts like "I cannot stand this" with "I can handle this calmly," or "I will respond wisely." Self-talk shapes your emotional response and helps you maintain control. With practice, your inner voice becomes an ally in managing anger effectively. Another crucial aspect is letting go of grudges and resentment. Holding on to anger over past events drains energy and reduces focus. Mindfulness and reflection help release lingering anger. Forgiveness does not mean approving harmful behavior. It means freeing yourself from the grip of negative emotions so you can move forward. Anger is also linked to expectations. Unmet or unrealistic expectations often lead to frustration. By adjusting expectations and focusing on what is within your control, you reduce triggers for anger. Accepting that not everything will go your way, while still striving for goals, builds resilience and emotional stability. Emotional resilience is strengthened through repeated practice. Each time you handle anger calmly, you reinforce your ability to respond thoughtfully in future situations. Over time, anger loses its power to control your actions, and you gain confidence in your emotional mastery. Handling anger effectively also improves relationships. Reacting impulsively can damage trust, communication, and collaboration. Calm responses foster understanding, respect, and cooperation. People are more likely to listen, respond positively, and support you when you manage anger constructively. Anger management is a skill, not an innate trait. Anyone can learn to handle anger with awareness, reflection, and practice. The key is consistency. Notice anger, pause, breathe, observe, and respond with intention. Over time, this process becomes automatic, allowing emotions to support rather than hinder your goals. It is also important to recognize the difference between temporary anger and chronic anger. Temporary anger is a short-lived reaction to a situation and can be managed with the techniques mentioned. Chronic anger is prolonged and often linked to deeper issues or unresolved conflicts. Chronic anger may require additional strategies such as counseling, long-term reflection, or structured emotional training. Addressing chronic anger ensures emotional balance and long-term success. Finally, handling anger effectively sets the foundation for mastering other strong emotions. Once you can respond thoughtfully to anger, you gain confidence in handling stress, anxiety, fear, and frustration. Emotional mastery grows as you practice awareness, constructive expression, and intentional response. Anger is a natural part of life, but it does not have to control you. By recognizing triggers, observing emotions, practicing calm, reflecting, and responding constructively, you turn anger from a destructive force into a tool for growth, learning, and improved relationships. Handling anger effectively strengthens resilience, enhances decision-making, and supports long-term personal and professional success. The next chapter in this journey is managing fear and doubt, which builds on mindfulness, positive thinking, and anger control. Mastering fear ensures that your emotions serve you rather than limit your potential. Chapter 8: Managing Fear and Doubt. Fear and doubt are natural emotions that everyone experiences. They serve as signals from the mind and body, alerting you to potential challenges or risks. While these emotions can protect you from danger, they can also hold you back when they are excessive or misplaced. Learning to manage fear and doubt is essential for emotional control, confidence, and long-term success. The first step in managing fear is recognition. Fear often appears as tension in the body, a racing heart, shallow breathing, or a feeling of unease. Doubt appears as thoughts of inability, hesitation, or uncertainty about your choices. By noticing these signs early, you gain the chance to act intentionally instead of reacting impulsively. Awareness allows you to take control before fear or doubt becomes overwhelming. Fear often arises from uncertainty. The unknown triggers the mind to imagine possible negative outcomes. Starting a new job, speaking in public, or trying a challenging task can produce fear. Recognizing that fear is often a response to uncertainty rather than reality helps you act despite the emotion. Facing fear with preparation and clarity reduces its power over your actions. Understanding the source of fear is critical. Some fears are rational and serve to protect you, while others are exaggerated or based on past experiences or assumptions. Differentiating between rational and irrational fear helps you decide on the appropriate response. Rational fear requires careful planning and caution, while irrational fear requires reflection, reframing, and deliberate action. Doubt is closely linked to self-perception and confidence. When you doubt your abilities, hesitation and avoidance can take over. Self-doubt often comes from comparing yourself to others, past failures, or fear of judgment. Managing doubt begins with self-awareness, identifying thoughts that create doubt, evaluating their accuracy, and replacing them with empowering alternatives helps reduce hesitation and strengthens emotional control. Visualization is an effective tool for managing fear. Imagining yourself facing a situation with calmness and confidence trains your mind to anticipate success rather than failure. Visualizing the steps you will take and the positive outcome you want increases your ability to act with courage and focus. Regular practice of visualization reduces fear and builds confidence. Positive self-talk is another powerful strategy. Speaking to yourself with encouragement and reassurance reinforces emotional strength. Replace thoughts of inability with statements about learning, growth, and capability. Positive self-talk strengthens emotional control, reduces anxiety, and promotes resilience in the face of challenges. Mindfulness and awareness support fear management. Observing thoughts and feelings without judgment allows you to notice fear as it arises without being overwhelmed. Mindfulness provides the space to respond thoughtfully rather than react automatically. When fear appears before a challenging event, focusing on breathing, body sensations, and preparation reduces its intensity. Breaking down tasks into smaller steps is an important technique. Large challenges can feel intimidating and increase fear and doubt. By dividing a task into manageable actions, you create a clear path forward. Each completed step builds confidence, reduces emotional overwhelm, and encourages progress. Gradual action turns fear into motivation rather than an obstacle. Facing fear gradually strengthens resilience. Avoiding fear may provide temporary relief, but reinforces habits of avoidance. Taking deliberate steps to confront fear in safe and controlled ways reduces its intensity over time. Each experience of facing fear builds confidence, emotional control, and the belief in your ability to handle challenges. Fear and doubt are also influenced by beliefs and past experiences. Negative experiences, repeated failures, or criticism can increase sensitivity to fear. By reflecting on past events, you can separate them from present situations. Understanding that past failure does not dictate future outcomes allows you to approach challenges with renewed perspective and confidence. Preparation and planning reduce fear and doubt. Knowing the steps to take, the resources available, and potential challenges helps you feel more in control. Practicing for events, studying for tests, or rehearsing for presentations provides readiness and builds confidence. Planning transforms fear into focused energy and purposeful action. Focusing on what you can control is essential. Worrying about things beyond your control only amplifies fear. Concentrate on actions within your power. Take responsibility for your efforts and accept outcomes beyond your influence. This focus strengthens confidence, reduces unnecessary anxiety, and supports emotional mastery. Physical relaxation and breathing exercises calm the body and mind. Slow, deep breaths reduce tension and nervousness. Stretching, walking, or gentle exercise dissipates energy associated with fear. Physical techniques work hand in hand with mental strategies to strengthen emotional resilience. Courage grows through repeated practice. Courage does not mean absence of fear, but acting despite fear. Each step taken in the presence of fear builds emotional strength and confidence. Facing fear gradually reduces its power over decisions and actions. Social support can help manage fear and doubt. Friends, mentors, and family provide guidance, perspective, and encouragement. Sharing fears does not weaken you, but provides clarity and emotional reinforcement. Support from others strengthens confidence and resilience in confronting challenges. Reflection after facing fear reinforces learning. Analyze what triggered fear, how you responded, and what worked well. Reflection develops self-awareness, strengthens decision-making, and builds confidence in handling similar situations in the future. Each experience transforms fear from a limiting force into a tool for growth. Consistent practice in managing fear and doubt improves overall emotional control. You respond to challenges with calmness, maintain focus on goals, and take deliberate action. Fear becomes a signal for preparation and attention rather than a force that paralyzes or limits your potential. Mastering fear and doubt also prepares you for managing other strong emotions. When you face uncertainty confidently, you are better equipped to handle stress, anger, and anxiety. Emotional mastery expands as awareness, positive thinking, reflection, and deliberate action are combined. Managing fear and doubt empowers you to pursue opportunities, take calculated risks, and achieve success. Recognizing, observing, preparing, and acting transforms these emotions from obstacles into tools for growth and achievement. With repeated practice, fear and doubt lose their control, and your emotions become allies rather than barriers to progress. The next chapter in this audiobook is Building Emotional Resilience, which integrates mindfulness, positive thinking, anger management, and fear control into a consistent practice for thriving under pressure. Chapter 9. Building Emotional Resilience. Emotional resilience is the ability to recover from challenges, setbacks, and difficult situations while maintaining focus, clarity, and calm. It is the foundation of success because life is full of obstacles, stress, and unexpected events. People who are emotionally resilient are able to face difficulties without being overwhelmed. They learn from experience, adapt to change, and continue to move forward. Building emotional resilience requires awareness, practice, and a combination of strategies that strengthen the mind and emotions. The first step in developing emotional resilience is self-awareness. Understanding your emotions, thoughts, and reactions allows you to notice when stress, fear, or frustration arises. Self-awareness helps you recognize triggers, patterns, and areas where you are vulnerable. By paying attention to how your mind and body respond to challenges, you can prepare strategies to remain calm and focused. Awareness is the foundation for intentional responses rather than automatic reactions. Mindfulness and observation are essential for resilience. By practicing mindfulness, you notice thoughts and feelings as they arise without judgment. You learn to observe anger, fear, doubt, or sadness without being controlled by them. Mindfulness creates a pause between emotion and action. This pause is where resilience is built, because it allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Regular mindfulness practice strengthens your ability to remain grounded under pressure. Resilient people understand that setbacks are a part of growth. Failure, mistakes, and disappointment are not signs of weakness, but opportunities to learn. Viewing challenges as lessons rather than threats fosters a growth mindset. Each challenge becomes a chance to develop skills, adapt strategies, and improve emotional control. Resilience grows with each experience of facing difficulty and moving forward. Positive thinking and constructive self-talk also strengthen emotional resilience. Encouraging your own mind, focusing on possibilities, and reframing negative thoughts allow you to maintain confidence in challenging situations. Thoughts of limitation or defeat are replaced with optimism, problem-solving, and determination. This mental shift strengthens your ability to stay focused and act decisively, even when circumstances are difficult. Physical health supports emotional resilience. Exercise, nutrition, and sleep influence the body's ability to handle stress and recover from emotional strain. Regular physical activity releases chemicals that reduce stress and improve mood. Proper nutrition fuels the brain and body, enabling clearer thinking and stronger emotional regulation. Adequate rest allows the mind to process experiences and restore energy. A strong body supports a resilient mind. Adaptability is a core aspect of resilience. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances often change. Resilient people accept change and adjust their approach as needed. Flexibility allows you to respond to new challenges with creativity, problem-solving, and calmness. Adaptability reduces the impact of stress and increases your ability to thrive under pressure. Support from others is also critical for building resilience. Friends, family, mentors, or colleagues provide guidance, encouragement, and perspective. Sharing challenges with trusted individuals reduces the emotional burden and provides solutions or insights you might not have considered. Resilient people know when to seek help and how to use support to strengthen their emotional stability. Goal setting contributes to resilience. Clear, realistic, and meaningful goals give direction and purpose. Goals act as anchors during turbulent times, reminding you of what matters and motivating action. By setting achievable steps toward objectives, you build confidence, reduce fear, and strengthen emotional endurance. Goals give your mind focus and help maintain motivation even when challenges arise. Problem-solving skills enhance resilience. Facing difficulties requires analyzing situations, identifying solutions, and taking decisive action. Resilient people approach challenges methodically, weighing options and implementing strategies that address the root causes of problems. Problem-solving prevents feelings of helplessness and builds confidence in your ability to handle adversity. Emotional regulation is essential for resilience. Strong emotions, such as anger, fear, or frustration, can disrupt thinking if not managed effectively. Techniques such as deep breathing, mindfulness, positive self-talk, and physical relaxation allow you to regulate emotions in real time. When emotions are managed, the mind remains clear, decisions are better, and actions align with goals. Learning from past experiences strengthens resilience. Reflecting on how challenges were faced, what worked, and what could improve creates a framework for future situations. Each experience becomes a lesson that informs strategy, increases confidence, and reduces fear in similar circumstances. Reflection transforms adversity into knowledge and personal growth. Gratitude enhances emotional resilience. By shifting focus from loss, difficulty, or frustration to appreciation and positive aspects of life. Recognizing even small things to be grateful for builds perspective, strengthens emotional balance, and reduces negative reactions. Gratitude trains the mind to notice opportunities and resources rather than solely obstacles. Resilience also grows through consistent exposure to manageable stress. Facing smaller challenges deliberately prepares the mind for larger ones. Each time you confront difficulty and handle it effectively, emotional strength increases. This practice creates confidence and reinforces the belief in your ability to overcome obstacles. Self-compassion is another element of resilience. Treating yourself with kindness when mistakes or failures occur reduces emotional suffering. Resilient people acknowledge their humanity, accept imperfection, and focus on improvement rather than self-criticism. Compassion builds emotional endurance and prevents burnout. Resilient individuals maintain perspective during crises. They see challenges as temporary and solvable rather than permanent or insurmountable. Maintaining perspective reduces panic, worry, and impulsive reactions. Seeing the bigger picture allows for thoughtful responses and prioritization of energy toward productive actions. Persistence and consistency strengthen resilience. Progress may be slow, and setbacks are inevitable. Staying committed to goals, practicing emotional strategies, and taking deliberate steps, even during difficulty, ensures continued growth. Persistence transforms obstacles into stepping stones towards success. Learning to celebrate small victories also builds resilience. Each step forward, each problem solved, and each emotion managed effectively reinforces confidence and capability. Recognizing progress fuels motivation, reduces fear of failure, and strengthens emotional endurance. Resilience combines awareness, mindfulness, emotional regulation, problem-solving, positive thinking, adaptability, support, reflection, and persistence into a cohesive skill set. It allows you to face uncertainty and adversity without being derailed. Over time, emotional resilience becomes a natural response, guiding actions, decisions, and reactions toward growth and success. By building emotional resilience, you create a foundation for mastering all other aspects of emotional control. Stress becomes manageable, fear and doubt are reduced, anger is handled constructively, and positive thinking guides decisions. Resilience allows emotions to support rather than hinder your goals, relationships, and personal growth. The next chapter in this audiobook is developing focus and discipline, which builds on resilience to strengthen concentration, consistent action, and long-term success. Chapter 10: Developing Focus and Discipline. Focus and discipline are essential skills for achieving success and maintaining emotional control. Focus allows you to direct your attention to what matters most, while discipline ensures consistent effort over time. Together, these skills create momentum toward your goals and prevent distractions from undermining your progress. Developing focus and discipline is a process that requires practice, awareness, and intentional habits. The first step in developing focus is clarity of purpose. Knowing what you want to achieve provides direction for your mind and actions. Without clear goals, attention becomes scattered, and effort is wasted. Take time to define meaningful objectives, break them into smaller steps, and prioritize them. When you know where you are going, focus becomes easier, and distractions have less power. Minimizing distractions is critical for maintaining focus. Modern life is filled with interruptions, notifications, and competing demands. Distractions reduce productivity, increase stress, and weaken emotional control. Identify sources of distraction and take practical steps to reduce them. This could include turning off notifications, organizing your workspace, setting boundaries, or scheduling specific times for focused work. Discipline is closely tied to habits. Habits are automatic behaviors that shape daily routines. By developing productive habits, you reduce reliance on willpower alone. Consistent habits, such as setting priorities, planning your day, and following through on tasks, strengthen discipline. Over time, habits create momentum, making focus and effort natural rather than forced. Time management supports both focus and discipline. Planning your day, setting clear priorities, and allocating specific time blocks for important tasks increases efficiency and reduces stress. Avoid multitasking, as it divides attention and diminishes the quality of work. Focused effort on one task at a time produces better results and reinforces self-discipline. Mindfulness enhances focus. Paying attention to the present moment reduces wandering thoughts and increases concentration. Mindfulness also helps you notice when your mind drifts toward distractions or negative thoughts. By gently returning attention to the task at hand, you strengthen focus and improve productivity. Mindful awareness creates a feedback loop for discipline, reinforcing consistent effort. Discipline requires commitment. Even when motivation fluctuates, motivation may be strong at times, but weak at others. Relying solely on motivation is unreliable. Discipline is the ability to act consistently regardless of changing emotions or energy levels. By committing to a plan and following through, you maintain progress even during low motivation periods. Breaking tasks into smaller steps improves focus and reduces overwhelm. Large or complex goals can feel intimidating, which encourages procrastination and distraction. Dividing work into manageable actions creates clarity, increases confidence, and supports consistent progress. Each completed step reinforces discipline and motivates further action. Setting clear boundaries strengthens both focus and discipline. Boundaries protect time, energy, and attention from unnecessary demands. This could mean saying no to distractions, delegating tasks, or creating a structured schedule. Boundaries ensure that your energy is spent on meaningful activities aligned with your goals, rather than on distractions or unproductive commitments. Positive self-talk reinforces discipline. Encouraging thoughts, such as "I can do this," "I will focus," and "I am capable," build confidence and determination. Self-talk shapes effort and mindset, replacing doubt, procrastination, or self-criticism with empowering messages strengthens emotional control, concentration, and consistency. Routine and consistency are pillars of discipline. Establishing daily rituals for focused work, reflection, and planning trains the mind to perform even when energy or motivation is low. Consistency strengthens habits, builds momentum, and increases efficiency. Over time, disciplined routines make productivity automatic and sustainable. Rest and recovery are important for maintaining focus and discipline. The mind and body require energy to function effectively. Sleep, breaks, and relaxation replenish mental capacity, reduce stress, and improve emotional control. Balanced effort and recovery prevent burnout and maintain long-term consistency. Goal tracking enhances both focus and discipline. Monitoring progress, celebrating achievements, and adjusting strategies as needed reinforces motivation and attention. Tracking goals provides feedback, helps maintain clarity, and strengthens commitment to consistent effort. When you see progress, even small steps encourage continued focus and discipline. Avoiding perfectionism improves consistency. Waiting for perfect conditions or flawless performance often leads to procrastination. Discipline is about taking action, learning, and improving over time. Focus on progress rather than perfection, and adjust as needed. Action creates results and builds confidence, which further strengthens focus and discipline. Accountability strengthens both focus and discipline. Sharing goals with a trusted friend, mentor, or coach increases commitment. Knowing that others are aware of your progress encourages follow-through. Accountability also provides support, feedback, and motivation to maintain consistent effort and focus. Visualization supports focus by creating a clear mental picture of goals and outcomes. Imagining completing tasks successfully enhances attention, motivation, and confidence. Visualization aligns your mind with desired actions, reduces fear and doubt, and strengthens consistent effort. When the mind is clear about the desired result, focus becomes natural, and discipline follows. Managing emotions is critical for focus and discipline. Strong emotions such as stress, anger, or frustration can disrupt concentration and lead to impulsive decisions. Emotional control techniques such as deep breathing, mindfulness, positive thinking, and reflection help maintain composure and focus. Emotional stability allows consistent, deliberate action toward goals. Adaptability supports focus and discipline in changing circumstances. Plans do not always unfold perfectly, and obstacles appear unexpectedly. Resilient focus allows you to adjust strategies while maintaining effort toward objectives. Flexibility combined with discipline ensures progress even under challenging conditions. Building focus and discipline is a long-term process. It requires daily practice, reflection, and adjustments. Small, consistent steps create momentum that compounds over time. Developing routines, managing distractions, maintaining self-awareness, and committing to consistent effort are the keys to mastering these skills. By strengthening focus and discipline, you increase your ability to control emotions, make better decisions, and achieve meaningful goals. Focus directs your energy toward what matters most, and discipline ensures consistent effort despite challenges or distractions. Together, these skills form a foundation for success, emotional mastery, and personal growth. The next chapter in this audiobook is Mastering Time and Energy, which builds on focus and discipline to ensure maximum efficiency and consistent progress toward your objectives. Chapter 11. Mastering Time and Energy. Time and energy are two of the most valuable resources you have. Mastering them is essential for achieving goals, maintaining focus, and sustaining emotional and physical well-being. Without proper management, even the most capable individuals struggle to achieve results. Time management ensures that tasks are completed efficiently, while energy management ensures that your mind and body are functioning at their best. Combining both creates productivity, balance, and success. The first step in mastering time is awareness. Understanding how you spend each hour of your day provides insight into habits, distractions, and opportunities. Track your activities for a few days to see where your time goes. Awareness helps identify unproductive patterns and areas where time can be better allocated. Without this understanding, time often slips away unnoticed. Prioritization is critical for effective time management. Not all tasks are equally important or urgent. Focusing on high-value activities that align with your goals ensures meaningful progress. One practical approach is to identify tasks that have the greatest impact on your long-term objectives. Completing these first maximizes the results of your effort and prevents wasted energy on trivial matters. Planning your day strengthens both time and energy management. Allocating specific blocks of time for important tasks, breaks, and reflection creates structure and reduces stress. Planning reduces decision fatigue and allows focused attention on what matters most. Daily planning also helps anticipate challenges, avoid conflicts, and create a smooth workflow. Energy management is as important as time management. Your mind and body have natural cycles of alertness and fatigue. Recognizing when you are most energetic allows you to schedule demanding tasks at peak times. Less intensive or routine tasks can be scheduled during lower energy periods. Aligning tasks with energy levels ensures efficiency, reduces mistakes, and supports sustained performance. Avoiding multitasking improves both time and energy efficiency. Focusing on one task at a time increases quality, speed, and mental clarity. Multitasking splits attention, increases errors, and drains energy. Concentrated effort produces better outcomes and reduces the mental fatigue associated with constant switching between tasks. Breaks and rest are essential for maintaining energy and focus. Short breaks between tasks prevent burnout, improve creativity, and restore mental clarity. Activities such as stretching, walking, or deep breathing refresh the mind and body. Regular rest is not a sign of laziness, but a strategy for sustained performance and emotional stability. Delegation supports time and energy mastery. You cannot do everything alone, and trying to do so reduces efficiency and increases stress. Identifying tasks that others can handle frees your time and energy for high-priority activities. Delegation also strengthens teamwork and creates opportunities for learning and growth in others. Eliminating distractions enhances both focus and efficiency. Modern life is filled with interruptions such as notifications, emails, and social media. Minimizing these distractions through structured schedules, technology controls, and dedicated workspaces allows deeper concentration and better use of time. Distraction management preserves energy that would otherwise be wasted. Consistency and routine are pillars of time and energy mastery. Developing daily habits for productive work, exercise, meals, and rest ensures that energy levels remain stable and priorities are addressed. Routines reduce decision fatigue, build momentum, and create a predictable structure that supports long-term success. Goal setting provides direction for time and energy use. Clear goals help determine what deserves attention and effort. Breaking goals into actionable steps allows daily progress and prevents wasted time on tasks that do not contribute to objectives. Goals also provide motivation, focus, and a sense of purpose that drives energy toward meaningful outcomes. Learning to say no is an important aspect of mastery. Not every request, opportunity, or task deserves your time or energy. Protecting your resources by declining distractions, unnecessary commitments, or unproductive activities ensures that your focus remains on what truly matters. Saying no is a strategy for efficiency and balance, not selfishness. Reflection and evaluation improve time and energy management. At the end of the day, review what went well, what consumed energy unnecessarily, and what could be improved. Reflection identifies patterns, supports adjustments, and strengthens awareness of how to optimize performance. Consistent reflection enhances both productivity and emotional control. Physical health supports energy mastery. Regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and adequate sleep maintain mental and physical performance. Fatigue reduces focus, emotional stability, and decision-making. Energy management is not just about scheduling, but also about maintaining the body and mind in optimal condition. Time and energy are also influenced by emotional state. Stress, anxiety, and negative emotions drain energy and reduce efficiency. Emotional regulation techniques, such as mindfulness, positive thinking, and deep breathing, restore balance and improve capacity for focused work. Managing emotions ensures that both time and energy are used productively, rather than wasted on frustration or distraction. Breaking large projects into smaller, manageable tasks reduces overwhelm and optimizes energy use. Each completed step provides motivation, builds momentum, and reinforces focus. Gradual progress prevents burnout and maintains steady energy while moving toward goals. Flexibility is important for handling unexpected events. Plans do not always unfold perfectly, and interruptions are inevitable. Resilient management of time and energy involves adapting to changes, reprioritizing tasks, and maintaining focus on long-term objectives. Flexibility ensures that setbacks do not derail progress or drain unnecessary energy. Accountability enhances mastery of time and energy. Sharing goals and progress with mentors, peers, or colleagues strengthens commitment and encourages consistency. Accountability provides feedback, motivation, and structure, that supports disciplined use of time and energy. Finally, mastering time and energy is a lifelong practice. It requires awareness, planning, discipline, reflection, and consistent adjustment. Each day is an opportunity to refine habits, improve efficiency, and optimize energy for meaningful work. Mastery of these resources allows you to accomplish more, reduce stress, and maintain balance in all areas of life. By mastering time and energy, you create the foundation for sustained focus, discipline, emotional resilience, and success. You ensure that effort and attention are directed toward meaningful goals, and that mind and body remain aligned for peak performance. Proper management of these resources transforms challenges into opportunities and supports long-term achievement. The next chapter in this audiobook is Developing Strong Habits for Success, which builds on focus, discipline, and time mastery to create routines that reinforce consistent growth and achievement. Chapter 12, Developing Strong Habits for Success. Habits are the foundation of long-term success. They shape daily actions, influence decisions, and determine whether goals are achieved. Strong, positive habits reduce reliance on willpower alone and make consistent progress natural and automatic. Developing habits for success requires awareness, intention, and practice. It is not about occasional effort, but creating routines that become part of your lifestyle. The first step in building strong habits is clarity. Knowing what habits you want to develop and why they are important gives purpose to your actions. Goals guide the selection of habits, ensuring that each routine supports meaningful outcomes. For example, habits like daily exercise, reading, or planning the day are small actions that contribute to long-term success. Clear intent strengthens commitment and focus. Start with small, manageable habits. Trying to implement large changes at once often leads to failure or frustration. Small habits are easier to maintain and create momentum. For instance, reading 10 minutes a day is more sustainable than attempting to read for an hour immediately. Small, consistent actions compound over time, producing significant results. Consistency is critical. Habits are formed through repetition. Each time an action is performed, the neural pathways in the brain strengthen, making the behavior more automatic. Regular practice, even when motivation is low, is more effective than sporadic effort. Over time, consistency transforms effort into automatic behavior that requires less conscious thought. Environmental design supports habit formation. Your surroundings influence behavior more than willpower alone. Arrange your environment to make desired habits easier and undesired habits harder. For example, keeping a book on your bedside table encourages daily reading, while removing distractions like unnecessary devices during work hours improves focus. Creating a supportive environment reinforces habits naturally. Triggers and cues are powerful tools for habit formation. Associating a habit with a specific time, location, or preceding action helps it become automatic. For example, brushing teeth immediately after waking or journaling after breakfast creates a routine that becomes part of daily life. Triggers remind the mind to act and reduce the need for conscious effort. Tracking progress reinforces habits. Recording actions, noting streaks, or reflecting on achievements provides motivation and accountability. Seeing progress, no matter how small, encourages continued practice. Habit tracking also helps identify obstacles and patterns that may hinder consistency, allowing for adjustments and improvement. Positive reinforcement strengthens habits. Rewarding yourself after completing a desired action builds motivation and pleasure associated with the behavior. Rewards do not need to be elaborate. A brief moment of satisfaction, a mental acknowledgement of success, or a small treat reinforces the habit and encourages repetition. Breaking habits into manageable steps is essential. Complex goals or routines can be overwhelming, if approached all at once. Divide habits into smaller actions that can be achieved easily. Each small success builds confidence, reinforces behavior, and creates momentum for larger achievements. Gradual progress prevents burnout and strengthens consistency. Self-awareness enhances habit formation. Observing when and why habits are performed helps identify triggers, challenges, and patterns. Awareness allows adjustment to increase effectiveness and reduce obstacles. For example, if you notice that stress leads to procrastination, you can implement alternative strategies to maintain productive habits even under pressure. Discipline supports habit development. Habits are built over time and require repeated effort. Even when motivation is low, relying on willpower alone is unreliable. Discipline ensures consistent action, turning intentional effort into automatic behavior. Combining focus, routine, and discipline creates a strong foundation for long-term habit success. Replacing negative habits with positive ones is effective for improvement. Instead of simply trying to stop a bad habit, introduce a better habit in its place. For example, replace mindless scrolling on a phone with reading or journaling. Substitution allows the mind to focus on constructive behaviors rather than resisting impulses, making change easier and more sustainable. Accountability strengthens habit development. Sharing goals with a mentor, friend, or group increases commitment and provides support. Knowing that someone else is aware of your progress encourages follow-through and reduces the likelihood of skipping actions. Accountability provides feedback, motivation, and structure for consistent habit practice. Reflection and review improve habit effectiveness. Regularly evaluating habits allows adjustment to ensure they continue supporting goals. Reflection identifies obstacles, highlights successes, and reinforces motivation. Understanding the impact of habits on daily life strengthens commitment and ensures that routines remain aligned with long-term objectives. Mindset plays a significant role in developing habits. Viewing habits as opportunities for growth rather than obligations creates a positive approach. Believing in your ability to change and improve reinforces consistency and resilience. A growth mindset transforms habits into tools for personal and professional development. Patience is essential. Strong habits do not form overnight. It takes consistent effort over weeks and months to create automatic routines. Persistence, repetition, and gradual improvement are more important than speed. Accepting the process and focusing on daily action builds lasting habits that support long-term success. Resilience supports habit development. Challenges, setbacks, or lapses are inevitable. Resilient individuals acknowledge mistakes, adjust strategies, and continue practice without giving up. Viewing lapses as temporary rather than permanent prevents discouragement and ensures continued progress. Integration of habits into daily routines ensures sustainability. Embedding actions into natural rhythms of life reduces friction and increases consistency. For example, pairing a morning walk with breakfast or practicing gratitude after work creates routines that fit seamlessly into daily life. Integrated habits are easier to maintain and require less conscious effort. Habits are the building blocks of success. They shape behavior, influence decisions, and create momentum toward goals. By developing strong, consistent, and purposeful habits, you reduce reliance on willpower, enhance focus, and improve emotional resilience. Habits create a foundation for consistent growth, achievement, and long-term personal development. The next chapter in this audiobook is Overcoming Procrastination, which builds on habits, focus, and discipline to address one of the biggest obstacles to consistent action and success. Chapter 13. Overcoming Procrastination. Procrastination is one of the most common obstacles to success. It prevents action, delays progress, and undermines focus, discipline, and habits. Everyone experiences procrastination at some point, but overcoming it is essential for achieving goals and maintaining momentum. Understanding why procrastination occurs and implementing strategies to manage it transforms delays into deliberate action and consistent progress. The first step in overcoming procrastination is awareness. Recognizing when and why you delay tasks provides insight into patterns and triggers. Procrastination often arises from fear, doubt, overwhelm, boredom, or lack of clarity. Observing these tendencies without judgment allows you to respond intentionally rather than act on habit or impulse. Awareness creates a foundation for change. Fear is a major cause of procrastination. Fear of failure, judgment, or imperfection can prevent starting or completing tasks. To overcome fear, acknowledge it as a normal response, but do not allow it to control action. Break tasks into manageable steps. Focus on progress rather than perfection, and remind yourself that mistakes are opportunities for learning. Facing fear directly reduces its power and encourages timely action. Overwhelm also leads to procrastination. Large or complex tasks can feel intimidating, causing hesitation or avoidance. Breaking tasks into smaller, actionable steps reduces mental load and increases confidence. Each completed step reinforces momentum, creates a sense of achievement, and encourages continued progress. Gradual progress makes challenges manageable and prevents delays caused by intimidation. Clarity reduces procrastination. Uncertainty about how to start, what steps to take, or what the outcome should be often leads to inaction. Defining clear goals, outlining the necessary steps, and identifying resources provides direction and reduces hesitation. When the path is clear, focus becomes easier, and the mind is ready to act. Time management combats procrastination. Scheduling specific periods for tasks, setting deadlines, and allocating focused time blocks ensures that tasks are addressed promptly. Structured planning prevents delay caused by distractions, indecision, or low motivation. Time management supports consistency and accountability, reducing the likelihood of putting off important work. Motivation is helpful, but not always reliable. Waiting to feel motivated often leads to procrastination. Discipline and habit are more powerful than fleeting emotions. Committing to action regardless of motivation ensures that tasks are completed consistently. Developing routines, using triggers, and practicing small daily actions create momentum independent of motivation. Emotional management addresses procrastination. Negative emotions such as frustration, boredom, or self-doubt can reduce energy and focus. Techniques like mindfulness, deep breathing, positive self-talk, and short breaks help regulate emotions and restore readiness for action. Managing emotional responses prevents them from becoming excuses for delay. Accountability strengthens action and reduces procrastination. Sharing goals or deadlines with mentors, colleagues, or peers increases commitment. Knowing that someone else is aware of progress encourages follow-through and reduces the tendency to delay. Accountability also provides support, feedback, and encouragement during challenging moments. Positive reinforcement encourages consistent action. Rewarding yourself after completing tasks strengthens motivation and reinforces desired behaviors. Rewards can be small, such as a short break, a healthy treat, or a moment of acknowledgement. Positive reinforcement builds a mental association between action and satisfaction, reducing the inclination to procrastinate. Environment plays a crucial role. Workspaces filled with distractions or clutter increase procrastination. Creating a structured, organized, and focused environment supports attention, reduces decision fatigue, and encourages timely action. Removing unnecessary distractions and designing spaces that facilitate productivity strengthens focus and consistency. Habit formation combats procrastination. Building daily routines around essential tasks ensures consistent progress. When productive actions become habits, they are performed automatically, reducing reliance on willpower or motivation. Integrating habits into daily life strengthens discipline, focus, and the ability to start tasks without delay. Breaking the cycle of perfectionism is essential. Waiting for the perfect conditions, ideal tools, or flawless plans often leads to procrastination. Action, even if imperfect, creates progress and learning. Perfectionism delays results, while deliberate effort, adjustment and improvement over time lead to meaningful achievements. Visualization helps overcome mental resistance. Imagining yourself completing a task successfully creates a sense of readiness and confidence. Visualization aligns your mind with the desired outcome, reduces anxiety and encourages immediate action. When you mentally rehearse completion, starting becomes easier and procrastination decreases. Energy management reduces delays caused by fatigue or low focus. Scheduling demanding tasks when energy is highest ensures that tasks are approached effectively. Breaks, nutrition, and physical activity restore energy for sustained effort. Proper energy management prevents avoidance caused by feeling overwhelmed or drained. Breaking habitual procrastination requires consistent practice. Each time you take deliberate action despite hesitation, you reinforce the ability to act promptly. Repeated effort creates a new default behavior, where starting and completing tasks becomes natural. Overcoming procrastination is a skill that strengthens with practice and persistence. Mindset transformation is critical. Viewing tasks as opportunities for growth rather than burdens shifts perspective and reduces mental resistance. Believing in your ability to act, solve problems, and make progress fosters confidence and diminishes delay. A proactive mindset replaces avoidance with deliberate, consistent action. Reflection supports overcoming procrastination. Regularly reviewing tasks, progress, and obstacles allows identification of patterns, recognition of successes, and adjustment of strategies. Reflection reinforces learning, strengthens awareness, and improves efficiency in completing future tasks. Resilience is essential. Setbacks, interruptions, and obstacles can lead to renewed procrastination. Resilient individuals acknowledge disruptions, adapt strategies, and continue action. Each recovery from delay builds confidence and reinforces the habit of timely action. Resilience ensures that procrastination does not become a permanent pattern. By implementing awareness, planning, emotional management, discipline, accountability, and reflection, procrastination can be effectively overcome. Timely action becomes the default. Momentum is maintained, and progress toward goals accelerates. Overcoming procrastination unlocks focus, energy, and consistency, paving the way for success in all areas of life. The next chapter in this audiobook is enhancing communication skills, which builds on focus, discipline, and emotional control to improve relationships, influence, and personal effectiveness. Chapter 14. Enhancing communication skills. Communication is one of the most important skills for success in every area of life. It affects relationships, influence, leadership, and personal growth. Strong communication skills allow you to express ideas clearly, listen effectively, and connect with others. Enhancing communication is not just about speaking well, but also about understanding others, conveying messages accurately, and building trust. The first step in improving communication is self-awareness. Understanding your own communication style, strengths, and weaknesses provides a foundation for improvement. Observe how you speak, write, and interact with others. Awareness of tone, clarity, and body language helps identify areas where adjustments can improve understanding and effectiveness. Active listening is essential. Listening is more than hearing words. It involves paying full attention, understanding meaning, and responding appropriately. Active listening builds trust, reduces misunderstandings, and allows you to respond thoughtfully, rather than react impulsively. It also demonstrates respect and empathy, which strengthens relationships. Clarity in communication prevents confusion and increases effectiveness. Organize your thoughts before speaking or writing. Use simple, concise language that is easy to understand. Avoid jargon or complicated terms that may create barriers. Clear communication ensures that your message is received accurately and achieves the intended impact. Nonverbal communication is equally important. Body language, facial expressions, posture, and gestures convey meaning beyond words. Consistent nonverbal cues reinforce your message, while conflicting signals can create confusion or mistrust. Being mindful of nonverbal communication enhances overall effectiveness and ensures alignment between words and actions. Empathy strengthens communication by allowing you to understand the perspective and feelings of others. Considering the needs, concerns, and emotions of the person you are communicating with improves connection and response. Empathy fosters cooperation, reduces conflict, and enhances influence and trust. Confidence in communication enhances clarity and persuasion. Speaking with confidence conveys authority and credibility. Confidence comes from preparation, knowledge, and practice. When you believe in your message and express it clearly, others are more likely to listen, understand, and respond positively. Feedback is a vital component of effective communication. Giving and receiving feedback improves understanding and performance. Constructive feedback helps identify areas for improvement, reinforces positive behavior, and strengthens relationships. Receiving feedback with openness and applying it demonstrates humility and commitment to growth. Adaptability in communication is essential. Different situations and audiences require adjustments in tone, style, and approach. Flexible communicators are able to connect with diverse individuals, respond appropriately to unexpected questions, and maintain clarity under changing circumstances. Adaptability ensures that your message is effective across contexts. Practice is key to mastery. Regularly engaging in conversations, presentations, writing, and public speaking strengthens communication skills. Practice allows you to experiment with style, refine clarity, and build confidence. Like any skill, communication improves with deliberate, consistent effort over time. Storytelling enhances communication by making messages memorable and engaging. Stories provide context, create emotional connection, and illustrate points effectively. Incorporating examples, anecdotes, and narratives makes complex ideas accessible and increases impact. Storytelling strengthens persuasion, influence, and clarity. Managing emotions during communication is critical. Strong emotions, such as anger, frustration, or nervousness, can interfere with clarity and understanding. Emotional control techniques, such as deep breathing, pausing before responding, and mindful awareness help maintain composure. Regulating emotions ensures that messages are delivered calmly and effectively. Writing skills complement verbal communication. Clear, organized, and concise writing conveys professionalism and competence. Writing provides the opportunity to structure thoughts, refine language, and communicate complex ideas accurately. Improving writing skills enhances overall communication and supports credibility and influence. Asking questions improves understanding and engagement. Thoughtful questions clarify meaning, encourage dialogue, and demonstrate interest in the perspective of others. Questions foster connection, reduce assumptions, and create opportunities for learning and collaboration. Effective questioning is a hallmark of skilled communicators. Listening and observing non-verbal cues improve negotiation and conflict resolution. Understanding tone, gestures, and body language helps identify underlying concerns and emotions. This insight allows for more effective responses constructive solutions and reduced tension. Skilled communication resolves disagreements while preserving relationships. Consistency and reliability in communication build trust. Following through on promises, responding promptly, and maintaining honesty strengthen credibility. Consistent communication ensures that others rely on you, respect your word, and value your input. Trust is a foundation for influence, leadership, and successful relationships. Presentation skills enhance communication by making messages more compelling. Structure presentations with clear points, supporting evidence, and engaging delivery. Visual aids, stories, and examples increase clarity and retention. Effective presentation skills strengthen influence, persuasion, and professional impact. Adapt communication to cultural and social contexts. Awareness of norms, values, and expectations ensures that messages are respectful, relevant, and effective. Cultural sensitivity prevents misunderstandings, fosters cooperation, and enhances relationships in diverse environments. Feedback loops support continuous improvement. Reflect on your communication after conversations, meetings, or presentations. Identify areas for improvement. Notice what worked well, and adjust strategies accordingly. Continuous learning strengthens clarity, confidence, and overall effectiveness. Technology is an important tool for communication. Emails, video calls, social media, and messaging platforms extend reach, but require clarity, tone, and etiquette. Mastering digital communication ensures professionalism and prevents miscommunication. Effective use of technology amplifies your ability to connect, inform, and influence. Collaboration relies on strong communication. Sharing ideas, listening to input, and negotiating differences creates productive teamwork. Clear communication within teams ensures alignment, reduces conflict, and maximizes results. Collaborative communication skills are essential for personal, professional, and organizational success. By practicing active listening, clarity, empathy, confidence, adaptability, emotional control, and continuous reflection, communication skills can be enhanced. Effective communication strengthens relationships, builds influence, and supports all other areas of personal and professional development. The next chapter in this audiobook is Final Integration and Applying Emotional Control for Success, which brings together all skills from previous chapters to create a comprehensive approach for achieving long-term growth and achievement. Chapter 15, Final Integration and Applying Emotional Control for Success. In this final chapter, everything learned from the previous chapters comes together to create a complete system for emotional control, focus, discipline, and personal growth. Mastering emotional control is not about suppressing feelings, but about understanding, managing, and using them to achieve success. When emotional control is combined with focus, discipline, habits, time management, and communication, it becomes a powerful tool that guides every decision and action. The first step in integration is self-awareness. Throughout this audiobook, awareness of thoughts, emotions, and reactions has been emphasized as the foundation of emotional mastery. Understanding how you respond to challenges, stress, fear, or frustration allows you to anticipate reactions and choose responses intentionally. Self-awareness enables control, reduces impulsive actions, and strengthens resilience. Next is the consistent practice of emotional regulation techniques. Strategies like deep breathing, mindfulness, positive self-talk, and reflection ensure that emotions support goals rather than hinder progress. Applying these techniques in real-life situations strengthens the ability to remain calm under pressure, manage setbacks, and respond constructively to difficult circumstances. Emotional regulation is the bridge between awareness and action. Focus and discipline amplify emotional control. By maintaining attention on priorities, managing distractions, and committing to consistent action, You ensure that emotional energy is directed toward meaningful outcomes. Discipline strengthens habits and routines, creating a structure that reduces stress and promotes stability. Focused, disciplined effort allows emotions to be channeled productively rather than wasted on worry, fear, or doubt. Building emotional resilience is central to long-term success. Resilient individuals recover quickly from setbacks, adapt to change, and maintain momentum even when challenges arise. Emotional control, when combined with resilience, enables you to face difficulties without being overwhelmed. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to learn, grow, and reinforce confidence in your ability to navigate life effectively. Time and energy management complement emotional mastery. Efficient use of time and optimal allocation of energy reduce overwhelm and frustration, allowing emotions to remain balanced. Scheduling tasks according to priorities and peak energy levels ensures consistent progress while minimizing stress. Effective management of these resources creates an environment in which emotional control and focus can thrive. Habits serve as the foundation of sustained success. The routines and behaviors practiced daily shape outcomes over time. By establishing strong, positive habits that align with your goals, emotional control is reinforced. Habits like planning the day, exercising, practicing mindfulness, reading, and reflecting consistently channel emotional energy toward growth and achievement. Overcoming procrastination ties together focus, discipline, and emotional control. Avoiding delay requires awareness of triggers, managing fear or doubt, and breaking tasks into actionable steps. Applying the techniques learned throughout this audiobook ensures timely action, maintains momentum, and prevents negative emotions from undermining progress. Each completed task reinforces confidence and strengthens emotional resilience. Communication skills play a key role in the application of emotional control. Expressing thoughts clearly, listening actively, and demonstrating empathy create stronger relationships and minimize conflict. When emotions are understood and managed, communication becomes effective and persuasive. Strong communication skills amplify influence, collaboration, and leadership, enhancing overall success. Integration also involves goal setting and alignment. Clearly defined goals provide direction for focus, habits, and emotional energy. Each action, decision, and response should be evaluated against your objectives to ensure alignment. By keeping goals at the center, emotional control becomes a tool to navigate challenges while remaining committed to desired outcomes. Reflection and continuous learning complete the system. Reviewing actions, emotions, successes, and setbacks provides insight for improvement. Reflection ensures that strategies remain effective, habits are maintained, and emotional responses are refined. Lifelong learning strengthens resilience, emotional control, and the ability to adapt to new challenges. Applying emotional control for success is a holistic process. It is about integrating awareness, focus, discipline, habits, time and energy management, resilience, communication, and reflection into daily life. Each component supports the others, creating a cohesive system that promotes personal and professional growth. Emotional control becomes not a single skill but a lifestyle, guiding behavior, decisions, and responses. Practical steps for application include starting each day with clarity of purpose, practicing mindfulness, prioritizing tasks, managing time and energy efficiently, and maintaining consistent habits. Respond to challenges with reflection rather than reaction. Use emotional awareness to guide decisions and relationships. Celebrate small victories to reinforce progress and maintain motivation. Challenges will arise, but applying the principles of this audiobook ensures that setbacks are temporary and manageable. Fear, doubt, frustration, and stress are natural, but emotional control transforms them into opportunities for learning and growth. Each application of focus, discipline, and awareness strengthens resilience and reinforces the ability to achieve goals. Integration also includes adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and conditions often change. Emotional control allows you to adjust without losing composure. Combined with habits, focus, and discipline, adaptability ensures that progress continues even under unexpected circumstances. Resilient adjustment reinforces confidence, capability, and long-term success. Consistency over time produces results that compound. Each day of applying these skills builds momentum, strengthens habits, and enhances emotional control. Small actions taken consistently create large outcomes over months and years. Mastery is achieved through dedication, repetition, and deliberate practice. In summary, the principles covered throughout this audiobook form a system of emotional control and personal effectiveness. Awareness, regulation, focus, discipline, resilience, habits, time and energy management, overcoming procrastination, communication, and reflection all work together. Applying these consistently allows you to achieve goals, maintain balance, build strong relationships, and navigate life with confidence and clarity. Emotional control is not a final destination but an ongoing practice. Each day provides opportunities to apply, refine, and expand the skills learned. By integrating all components, you ensure that your emotions are allies rather than obstacles. Success becomes a result of deliberate, consistent, and emotionally intelligent action. This concludes the main chapters of the audiobook. You now have a complete framework to master emotions, build habits, stay focused, manage time and energy, communicate effectively, and achieve lasting success. Applying these principles daily will transform challenges into opportunities and goals into achievements, creating a life of purpose, growth, and fulfillment. You have now completed how to control your feelings for success. By listening to this audiobook, you have gained practical tools to manage emotions, stay focused, build discipline, and develop habits that support your goals. Remember, emotional control is a daily practice. Apply the strategies consistently, review your progress, and refine your actions. Over time, your mind and emotions will work together to guide you towards success, resilience, and personal growth. Thank you for listening to Bookwaves Audio. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and continue on the path to mastering your feelings for success.